Here's the complete adventure of Busytown Heroes in all its glory. Busytown Heroes. Chapter 1 *. It was the first day of school, and Huckle Cat, Sally Cat, and Lowly Worm were buzzing with excitement as they prepared for their new adventures. Their backpacks were packed, their notebooks pristine, and their spirits high as they entered the bustling halls of Busytown Elementary. But Huckle couldn't help venting to his friends as they walked together. The school year just started, and it's already going wrong, he muttered. His day seemed to prove his point when, while distractedly chatting, he accidentally bumped into Pig Will and Pig Won't *, causing him to fall backward onto the ground with an embarrassing thud. Huckle grumbled about the awkward moment, but things only got worse when his class schedule slipped out of his backpack and got caught in the gust of wind created by Mr. Timur *, a hurried mouse darting by with a stack of papers. Half of Huckle's schedule flew into the air, only to land on the ground in 2 ripped pieces. Still shaken from his fall and annoyed by the mishap with his schedule, Huckle tried to collect himself as the trio made their way into the art room. It was here that they met their teacher, Mr. Crofton *, a tall, gray bull with thick glasses and a paint-splattered smock. Standing in front of the class with his stern posture, Mr. Crofton cut an imposing figure. Yet as the students settled into their seats, they quickly realized he had a friendly, almost quirky side, a creative soul who valued imagination above all else. As the day went on, Huckle, Sally, and Lowly managed to get through art class unscathed, each embracing their own styles. Mr. Crofton praised Huckle's orderly drawing, Sally's whimsical doodles, and Lowly's adventurous scribbles, showing that even a tough start could turn into a good day. By the end of the school day, however, the rain began to pour, drenching everything in sight. Sally, Huckle, and Lowly stood under Sally's oversized polka-dotted umbrella, grumbling about their soggy predicament. Just as they were ready to head home, Lowly piped up with a burst of enthusiasm. "Why go home when we can be the first to check out the Busytown Cinema Odyssey? It just opened today." The trio agreed, and with renewed energy, they set out toward the dazzling new theater. Busytown Heroes. Chapter 2. The cinema adventure. Gathered under Sally's umbrella, the trio trudged through the rain to the Cinema Odyssey. The futuristic building glowed brightly against the dreary evening, its marquee reading, "Welcome to a World Beyond." Inside, they were greeted by Phyllis *, an owl with a flair for the dramatic. Clad in a bow tie and holding a clipboard, Phyllis introduced herself as the cinema's director and hinted that the establishment was no ordinary theater, it was an interdimensional portal. "Only the bravest adventurers can unlock its secrets," Phyllis proclaimed. Huckle, never one to turn down a challenge, answered eagerly, "Yes. We'll be part of this new role." Phyllis beamed. "Wonderful. Let's get you started right away." She led them into the cinema's projection room, an extraordinary space filled with glowing consoles, swirling lights, and a massive screen that seemed to pulse with energy. Phyllis handed them each a unique set of superhero gear they'd need for their first ever mission. For Huckle *, there was a kung fu outfit, complete with a bandana and black belt, boosting his agility and martial skills. For Sally Cat *, a mask and cape accompanied by a magical jump rope, granting her the power to fly and perform dazzling stunts. For Lowly Worm *, a necklace that let him jump higher than ever before, paired with a sleek mask. Phyllis explained, "You'll need to wear these every time you go on a mission. They'll help you protect the countless worlds that need you." As Sally slipped on her mask, she discovered it had a unique power. It granted her telepathic insights into the mission, revealing their goals and the consequences of failure. "This is amazing," Sally exclaimed as she sensed a wave of knowledge about their upcoming adventure. "Now," Phyllis announced dramatically, "it's time to begin." She flipped a switch on the console, and the big screen flared to life, its surface shimmering with swirling, colorful lights. The trio barely had time to exchange excited glances before the screen zapped them, transporting them into another world. Their first mission had begun. Busytown Heroes. Chapter 3. The neat and tidy mystery. The trio found themselves in a pristine village, where every street was spotless, every building impeccably aligned, and every blade of grass uniformly trimmed. The neatness was almost unsettling, as though life itself had been stripped of all its charm and individuality. Sally Cat's mask glowed as she received a vision. The village had once been a lively, chaotic place where people did things their own way, sideways, even. But something, or someone, had forced everything into rigid order. If the trio didn't uncover the cause and set things right, the village would remain trapped in this lifeless perfection forever. Loli, brimming with curiosity, declared, "We need to talk to the king. He'll know what's going on." After navigating the spotless cobblestone streets, they were granted an audience with the king, a nervous-looking lion perched atop a too-perfect throne. They wasted no time asking why everything had been forced into such unnatural order. The king sighed heavily and explained, "It's all thanks to Tukola *, an evil sorceress who suggested that everything should be neat and organized. Anyone who doesn't comply is sent to her cozy dungeon. Now, the village lives in fear, and nothing is allowed to be out of place." Realizing the gravity of the situation, the trio decided they needed to face Tukola and free the village. But Huckle, still feeling downhearted about his chaotic first day of school, hesitated. Sensing this, Sally turned to him and said gently, "Huckle, we need to focus. We've got this." Huckle took a deep breath and nodded, rallying his courage. "You're right, Sally, let's do this." Busytown Heroes. Chapter 4, Tukola's Lair. In the final battle, the heroes finally made their way to Tukola's Lair *, a gleaming, sterile castle surrounded by symmetrical hedges. Inside, Tukola watched them through her crystal ball, her frustration mounting. As they approached, she suggested sarcastically, "Why don't you just go home and retreat? This isn't your fight." Huckle's spirits started to drop, but Sally and Loli remained steadfast. Sally spoke firmly, "If we win this battle, the villagers can live their lives the way they want to." The trio moved cautiously into Tukola's throne room, where the sorceress stood surrounded by jars of sticky goo. Sally took the lead, using her magical jump rope to dodge Tukola's goo attacks with grace. Just as Sally thought she had outwitted Tukola, the sorceress sprayed her with goo, trapping her. Huckle, feeling overwhelmed and scared, decided to hide. "My bad day just keeps getting worse," he said. Loli, now also stuck in the goo, called out to him, "Huckle, it's up to you." But Huckle hesitated. "It's too risky," he murmured. "My bad luck will only get worse. I'll just sit this one out." Sally, trapped but determined, encouraged him. "Huckle, you can do this. Have blind self-belief, you can accomplish anything." Inspired by his friend's faith in him, Huckle gathered his courage and charged toward Tukola. Dodging every goo attack with newfound confidence, he reached her and delivered a swift kick to her magic spray, declaring, "It's over. We've won, and you've lost." Defeated, Tukola surrendered but warned, "This isn't over. I'll get my revenge." Back in the village, everything returned to normal, and the villagers celebrated as their lively, sideways ways resumed. The heroes were hailed as saviors, and as they were zapped back into the Busytown Cinema Odyssey, their friends and neighbors cheered for them on the big screen. Phyllis congratulated them warmly. "Huckle, because you believed in yourself, the day was saved," she said proudly. Huckle smiled. "I thought my day was just going to get worse, but it turned out even better than I ever imagined." As the day wrapped up, the trio prepared to head home. Before they left, Phyllis reminded them, "Come back here tomorrow. Your journey as part-time heroes is just beginning." The three friends walked home together, chatting about their adventure and laughing at the surprises along the way.